love made possible by one giving community. And you can catch a new Nightly News Kids edition streaming right now. That's Nightly News. Thank you for watching. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
This was a brutal murder.
I'm not a snitch, not for free.
He's a Nazi. He wants a get-out-of-jail-free card.
You're gonna have to make a choice.
What does it cost to buy off a judge? For extremist Dan Kelly, he's for sale for $20,000. In 2020, Kelly conveniently changed his mind about whether to judge the Tim Zignego case. Kelly had recused himself. Then he pocketed $20,000 in contributions from Zignego and his family, and Kelly unrecused himself so he could judge the case. Justice shouldn't be for sale. Dan Kelly is too corrupt, too extreme.
When you need help feeding your family, call the Family Food Helpline. Live on NBC 12, this is Newswatch 12 at 6.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch 12 at 6. I'm Jessica Jukic.
And I'm Dan Hagan. Most people learned in high school that low supply and high demand drives prices higher. And that's exactly what's happening in the Northwoods housing market.
While that trend has been happening for years, the Federal Reserve's move to increase interest rates are pushing some people out of the housing market. Newswatch 12's Matt Weaver has more. Matt?
Well, Dan and Jessica, take Oneida County and the surrounding counties where single-family homes are down 26%. In fact, there's a total of 12 houses on the market in Rhineland.
It has been a roller coaster.
They have too many buyers chasing too few homes.
A recent report from the Wisconsin Realtors Association says that lower inventories across the state have caused a decrease in home sales and increase in prices. Christy Schneider of First Weber Realtors in Rhinelander says the issue started in southern Wisconsin last July and soon crept north.
We were 2-3 months behind that, and we've not had a drastic increase in inventory since.
Combination of resilient demand and tight supply has pushed our median prices up by double-digit margins.
David Clark is a professor of economics at Marquette University and consultant for the WRA. He calls the Northwoods a volatile market when looking at the statistics.
You have lower levels of activity in the area, and so it has a relatively a lower base, and so small changes in numbers of sales can translate into larger percentage changes.
But there's more to it, especially in a region where many sales are for vacation homes.
The second home, could be viewed as kind of a luxury item, and luxury items tend to respond more to economic fluctuations than necessities.
For real estate agents like Schneider, all they can do is keep moving forward in a topsy-turvy market.
We're all ready to roll up our sleeves and work with buyers and sellers through this next market, which is absolutely softer than it was in 21 and in 22.
Schneider says that the good news is new listings usually open in April or May, though there's no guarantee.
Well, driving on the roads, Conrad, a lot of snow melting, a lot of water moving.
Yeah, temperatures were hovering around 40 degrees today, so more snow did melt.
I was loving the sun and seeing the clear sky.
Yeah, it looked beautiful. Like, it's officially spring, and it really felt like it today. Temperatures around 40 degrees, lots of sunshine, not much of a wind going on. Roads are clear, no snow really falling from the sky. That's some good news for some people, maybe not for you snowmobilers or snow lovers. Right now, though, lots of sunshine all across the state. A couple of thicker clouds in southern Wisconsin. In general, though, we are in the clear. Not much going on weather-wise today. Winds are pretty calm as well, besides Medford into Wausau. 12-mile-an-hour sustained winds, wind gusts closer to 20. But overall, though, Northwood's looking pretty calm. Winds are hovering at around 5 to maybe 10 miles per hour. Wind gusts closer to 15, with temperatures earlier today at around 40 degrees. So that's near average for us. 42 in Tomahawk, 41 in Wausau. There was a little pocket cooler air by Mosinee down south, but lots of 40s did rule over the region today. Our average, like I said, should be around 42 degrees. Our average low around 20 degrees. Look what the atmosphere could do. 10 below zero, 1965. Wow. We have 12 hours of sunlight now, so warmer air is in the area. But tonight, it is going to get cold. Temperatures will be dropping down to around 8 degrees. Dan and Jessica?
Thank you, Conrad. It's opening week for high school softball here in Wisconsin, with many teams across the state playing their first game of the season.
Schools like Antigo traveled all the way to Florida to start their season, but other local teams didn't have to travel too far from home. Rhinelander is hosting a tournament today in the Hodag Dome to kick off their season. That's where Newswatch 12's Saul Meyer is. Saul?
That's right, Dan and Jessica. I'm here at the Hodag Dome in Rhinelander for the first big tournament of the year for high school softball. This is day one of a 3-day tournament with the first game starting here at 6:30 in about a few minutes. In those games, we'll see Lakeland Union taking on Kingsford, Michigan, and Rice Lake taking on Marshfield. Then, in the later round of games, we'll see the host team, Rhinelander, take on Boyceville and Clintonville take on Goodman Pembine, with those games scheduled to start at 8:30. We'll be sure to get y'all coverage and highlights from those games tonight at 10. But for now, reporting here live in Rhinelander, I'm Saul Meyer, Newswatch 12.
Thanks, Saul. A multi-million-dollar settlement has been reached after a lawsuit alleged the director of a Madison zoo sexually assaulted a researcher. A Henry Vilas Zoo researcher filed the lawsuit in 2021 against Director Rhonda Schwetz, who you can see on the screen. The researcher says Schwetz suggested they share a hotel room with twin beds to save money at a Zoo Association conference. But the first night, Schwetz came into the room drunk and repeatedly groped the researcher before he pushed her away, according to the lawsuit. The researcher later began a job at a different zoo, only to be fired after colleagues there said they had heard things about his character from the Zoo Association, and the researcher said it was because of the incident with Schwetz. Most of the $2.3 million settlement will be paid by the Zoo Association, with $500,000 coming from Dane County. County board members there are calling for Schwetz to be fired from the zoo.
Governor Tony Evers is speaking out after Republicans rejected his billion-dollar infrastructure plan. Today, Republicans on the State Building Commission deadlocked on the governor's $3.8 billion capital budget recommendations. The governor's recommendations were expected to create 45,000 jobs and help 28 Wisconsin counties. The plan would have provided $1.8 billion in capital improvement projects through the University of Wisconsin system at campuses across the state. It would also have invested in correctional facilities to work towards closing Lincoln Hills and Copper Lake as a juvenile facility, along with investing in healthcare service facilities and state parks and forests.
Officials are investigating a cyber attack that took place this week targeting Wisconsin's court system. The attack began early this week, according to a statement from court officials. Network users of CCAP may have experienced spotty service or slower than usual response times for online services. The director of state courts says the Wisconsin court system has taken effective countermeasures against the attack, and a Wisconsin justice says the attack did not result in the leak of any data, and court operations are now continuing as usual.
Staffing shortages and a lack of resources have put a massive strain on rural EMS services. That's according to a new study from the Wisconsin Office of Rural Health. The study conducted last fall found 78% reported responding to calls for other departments. That in turn forces calls to other departments, creating a trickle-down effect for call response. Call times also extend when driving to other areas to cover for neighboring departments. One of the problems behind the staffing shortage is a lack of funding. Wisconsin has had the same shared revenue spent on EMS since 1993. Even if funding comes through, getting real change to turn things around will take 5 to 10 years. A woman charged with shooting and killing a car dealership employee made her initial court appearance Wednesday via Zoom.
Police say the shooting started over a dispute about a car lease. Braden Ross reports.
You didn't only kill my husband, you murdered me too.
A heartbroken wife speaks in Dane County Court.
He was the only one I had, and here I am right now. All I have is my unborn child.
Remembering her husband, Kausu Samba, shot dead at 34. The woman accused of shooting and killing him at a Middleton car dealership is charged with first-degree homicide.
This defendant, as the complaint shows, is alleged to have shot someone essentially at point-blank range in the chest over what I think even generously to her could be considered a minor customer service dispute at an auto dealership.
Court records allege Jakira Anderson went to the dealership Monday afternoon to complain about a car she had leased from them. She told officers she got in an argument with Samba, who worked at the dealership. She says Samba started trying to push her out of the store. That's when police say she shot him. According to court documents, Anderson told police, quote, "I wasn't trying to kill him, just scare away, and I didn't think I was going to hit him."
The entire incident from start to finish was captured on video. There's going to be no doubt about what happened at trial and that she didn't, in fact, pull the trigger of that gun and shoot this person.
The shooting has left Madison's Gambian and Islamic communities grieving the loss of a man they say was kind, family-oriented, and brilliant. A family member telling us in a statement he had helped many young people in Madison. And his soccer club in Milwaukee commemorating him with this post, saying his positive vibes made their team better on and off the field.
A tragic story. After a long season extending into spring, a lot of snowmobile trail systems are closing very soon.
We'll tell you when and where, plus TikTok leaders in the hot seat in Washington. Those stories after weather with Conrad right here on Newswatch 12.
Celebrate Furniture and Appliance Mart's 54th anniversary with our lowest mattress prices of the season. Get your best night's sleep on Purple, Tempur-Pedic, Serta, and more. Plus your choice of 6 months interest-free financing or low monthly payment options. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Dan Kelly and his friends are lying about Judge Janet Protasewicz.
He wants to scare you because he can't talk about his own record.
Dan Kelly has never sentenced a single criminal to prison.
Not one. That's a fact.
And as a private attorney, Kelly got rich defending sex predators who posed as youth ministers to sexually assault young girls.
That's the truth.
The bottom line is that Dan Kelly won't keep our community safe.
He's an extremist
who doesn't care about us.
Visit Ho Chunk Gaming Nakusa to experience exciting action on the hottest slot machines and electronic table games. With big fun, you get bigger rewards while playing with your Rewards Club card. Enjoy special gaming offers, food and entertainment discounts, and more. Hungry? No problem. Escape to the oasis of Swiftwater Lounge for drinks, food, and fun. We'll see you at Ho Chunk Gaming Nakusa, your place to play.
Keep your home looking clean and beautiful with 11% off everything at Menards. DuraClean is an interior paint and primer in one that's washable, scrubbable, and stain resistant. A gallon is just $21.97 after rebate. Finish your renovations with premium fast interior wood stain. Varathane has a proven formula that's sure to amaze and is ideal for all interior wood projects, from floors to furniture. Get a 1-quart can for $10.99 after 11% rebate at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Celebrate Furniture and Appliance Mart's 54th anniversary with our lowest mattress prices of the season. Get your best night's sleep on Purple, Tempur-Pedic, Serta, and more. Plus your choice of 6 months interest-free financing or low monthly payment options. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Welcome back, folks. All right, it's officially spring. Temperatures were above freezing today, so it really felt like a spring day. But that's not good for you snow lovers or snowmobilers. Yes, this is not your season. Maybe another week or so, and then things will start to warm up. Trails will start to close. So now is your window. I would say another week or so is your window to go snowmobiling. We have 19 inches of snow on the ground right now. North, though, we're looking at 24, even in some spots. That's why these trails are still open. Usually they close usually around March 15th, but with that thick snowpack this year, things are looking a little bit better. Let's talk a little bit about weight of the snow on your roof. This is the main topic. Normal snow, 10-to-1 ratio. We are looking more towards a wetter snow, as during the day it starts to melt, then freezes up overnight. So that's around 3, 4 even trucks of weight on top of your roof. So that is a lot of weight. So I would definitely recommend to maybe shoveling that off, getting that ice off your roof. Quicker is better, because that is a danger for sure. Right now, though, things are looking pretty clear. We had lots of sunshine earlier today, lots of sunny skies, barely any clouds all over the state. Maybe in southern Wisconsin, a couple of thicker clouds earlier today, associated with this low right here, stretching all the way from Maine down south to Texas. Wow, a massive system. Look how large it is, going all the way from Canada, even all the way down south. So that's where that cold front is right now, making its way east as the day goes on. All right, let's talk a little bit about the future. Saturday gets a bit interesting. We have another strong low-pressure system. This one's going to stay south of us. So it looks like Green Bay is going to be the cutoff, maybe into Anago area. Crandon might get in on some flurries on Saturday. Maybe here in Rhinelander we'll get a couple of flurries as well. Overall, though, this is going to stay south and east of our area. Lots of heavy snow in Milwaukee, Madison, even northwest suburbs of Chicago might get a couple of snowflakes. Then Tuesday we might get a couple of flurries once again. Doesn't look like it's going to be anything accumulative for us here in town. But like I said, this cold front right about here where that rain is stretching all the way down into Texas, where 80s are showing up here in Dallas, Texas. Look at OKC, 54 degrees, so it is pretty chilly on the back end of the cold front. Earlier today, though, we had temperatures close to 40 degrees, so near average today for most of us. But the next couple of weeks will not be the same. We're actually going to have some cooler weather all up in the west, upper Midwest, and same story even in the East Coast. Tonight, though, temperatures will be cold, 8 degrees with a mostly clear sky, pretty calm winds. Tomorrow, temperatures around 41 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Our 7-day outlook brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress does show some flurries on Saturday. Other than that, we are clear the rest of the week. Dan?
More snowmobile trails are closing as we get further into spring. Trails in Oneida County will be closing at noon on Monday for the rest of the season. Forest County trails will also close on Monday. In Langlade County, Zone B trails will be closing at 6 a.m. Friday, and Zone A trails will remain open this weekend, but will then close on Monday at 6 a.m. Trail officials are reminding people to respect landowners and stay off the trails as the season comes to a close.
A new report says attempts to ban books last year hit the highest number in more than 2 decades. The American Library Association counts more than 1,200 challenges, naming about twice as many titles. That's up from about 700 challenges in 2021. According to the association, most of the books have characters or authors who are LGBTQ or people of color. It says organized censorship groups share lists of books on social media and target local libraries that have them. TikTok is facing an existential threat as its CEO is grilled in Congress and questioned about video app security and its ownership by Chinese company ByteDance.
Mike Valerio has the latest from Washington.
There are more than 150 million Americans who love our platform.
TikTok CEO facing U.S. lawmakers for the first time on Capitol Hill in a heated hearing.
We do not trust TikTok will ever embrace American values. TikTok has repeatedly chosen the path for more control, more surveillance, and more manipulation. Your platform should be banned.
U.S. lawmakers repeating calls for the ban of the video app based on national security concerns about the app's ability to collect data from its users. But TikTok CEO maintains the app doesn't collect any more data than other social media companies.
We will firewall protected U.S. data from unwanted foreign access.
CEO Shou Chu fighting back, attempting to reassure Congress his company has taken action to resolve fears the Chinese government could gain access to TikTok user data.
The bottom line is this: American data stored on American soil by an American company, overseen by American personnel.
But in the eyes of some experts, an all-out TikTok ban is unlikely.
This app has millions of users. Right, so free speech and all of these other considerations come into play, and that's why I think we're far less likely to get a full ban and more likely to see some kind of potentially middle ground restriction.
The ice fishing season is pretty much over, but you may see tip-ups in local bars past the spring.
Coming up, we'll hear about a Tomahawk fundraiser using miniature tip-ups. We'll be right back.
Come to Slumberland and get 20% off our beautiful new furniture and decor during our Spring Spruce Up event. Plus extra discounts on recliners, patios, Sealy mattresses, and sectionals. Get an extra 20% off right now at Slumberland Furniture.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day. This was brutal murder. I'm not a snitch. Not for free.
He wants to get out of jail free card. He's a Nazi.
I said no. I used our safe word. No jury's gonna believe her.
Sexual assault is sexual assault.
This is Chinatown. Things work a little differently down here.
You know what happens to people who talk to the police? I'm going to make sure that justice is served.
Carpet City.
Come to Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale ever and receive free carpet installation or save $300, $600, or even $1,000 on all hard surface flooring. That's right, free carpet installation or extra savings up to $1,000 on hard surface flooring. If you need flooring, now is the time to buy. Only at Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale ever.
Our prices will floor you.
Looking to make a switch from your current wireless carrier? Make Cellcom your choice. Now through the end of the month, get 6 months of service for free with a new smartphone line activation and flex agreement. Choose from the latest phones and a plan that meets all of your wireless needs. Plus, join Cellcom and we'll cover your cost to switch, up to $650 per line. Visit Cellcom.com/save for more details. That's Cellcom.com/save.
Sheriffs like us from around the state are supporting Daniel Kelly for Wisconsin Supreme Court. Justice Kelly's opponent, Janet Protasiewicz, is a Milwaukee County judge with a long history of letting dangerous criminals back into our streets.
Directly undermining the work of our officers and putting your family at risk. We can't afford to have judges who put their own agendas above the law. It's time we start prioritizing justice again, not politics.
Vote Daniel Kelly for Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Sleeping in pain or too hot? Come to Slumberland and get 20% off mattresses. Find your perfect mattress with our easy rating system and save big. Get a Sealy Queen mattress for just $4.99. Only at Slumberland.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Furniture and Appliance Mart.
If you've ever gone out ice fishing, you've probably seen a tip-up. And now recently, you may have even seen them in your local tavern.
The Tomahawk American Legion has created smaller versions of the ice fishing tool as an easy way to get your bartender's attention. Legion Auxiliary President Carol Mueller says pretty much everyone who has seen them has loved them.
It's unique, and it's been catching on. Snowmobilers loved it. Ice fishermen loved it. Everybody loved it.
The Legion Auxiliary members have made more than 1,000 of these tip-ups. Legion Adjutant Tom Peterson says the fundraiser will go towards fixing up the building they call home.
What our goal is to make it available so that we can still serve the community through weddings, funerals, other public events.
The plan is to raise money for an outdoor beer garden, walk-in cooler, new bathrooms, office area, and an expanded meeting hall. The Legion is asking for $5 donations for the tip-ups. Their total fundraising goal for the renovation project is around $300,000. We'll be back with one final check of the forecast.
I paid into Social Security my whole life.
Now I depend on it.
We earned it. But extremist Dan Kelly doesn't think so.
He said Social Security is like slavery.
And Kelly wrote that seniors on Social Security are, quote, people who have chosen to retire without sufficient assets to support themselves.
What a jerk.
That tells you a lot about the kind of judge he'll be on the court.
He's an extremist.
He's too extreme.
He doesn't care about us.
Lance Truck. We got the truck track. Lance Truck.
Nobody has more used trucks all on one lot, all priced to move. So when you're ready to buy your next truck, know that all Lenz trucks are fully inspected, certified clean, and can be bought hassle-free online. Go now to lenztruck.com. You'll find over 800 used trucks, all priced to move.
We got the truck track. Lance Truck.
Here is your News Watch 12 Ski and Board Report, brought to you by Ski Brule.
Menards has the flooring options to make your house feel like your home. Whether you're looking for that elegant, timeless look, a bold and contemporary style, or a sense of comfort. With thousands of options to choose from, we've got you covered. Update your home with new flooring from Tarkett. Choose from our great selection of waterproof vinyl plank, easy to install sheet vinyl, and durable laminate flooring. This laminate flooring is only $159 a square foot after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Quantrill Bounds punches a 12-year-old girl, forces her to perform oral sex. He films the heinous act, posts it on Facebook. 12 years old. Any rational person would want this guy behind bars for a long time. Not Judge Janet Protasewicz. She showed sympathy for him, released him back onto the street. Imagine this were your daughter. Janet Protasewicz's judgment isn't just flawed, it's dangerous.
Builder Service. We are your hometown hardware store. Plumbing, electrical, paint, automotive, keys, tools, lawn and garden. We're more than just a lumberyard. Highway 45 in Elko.
Well, Dana and Conrad, it was a nice day to be outside and kind of soak up some sun.
It was, right? It felt like a first day of spring day, right?
Yeah, but we have so much snow. You can't really do much. It's so wet out there.
We still have 18 inches of snow on the ground. Hard to believe, right? It's almost April. This is not an April Fool's joke, but temperatures are going to warm up the next couple of days. Look at Washington, D.C. 83 degrees right now. Wow, they are close to breaking a record. There's lots of warm air. Those temperatures will not be here in our area for a long time. We will actually be in a below average temperature trend the next couple of weeks, all the way into the first week of April. And things are going to look a little bit chilly, but our 7-day outlook does show another nice day tomorrow, ahead of some flurries on Saturday, then a warm-up Sunday into Monday, and then cooler temperatures again by Tuesday.
Snow's going to keep melting, it looks like.
It does, yeah.
Good time to enjoy the outside.
Exactly.
Thank you, Conrad. That's all the time we have. We'll see you back here at 10.
Mr. Food Test Kitchen is brought to you by Golden Carrot Jewelers and Rhinelander Cafe and Pub.
I hope you've been enjoying our week-long celebration of international food favorites. Today, I couldn't be more excited than to share a creamy dessert that's a staple throughout Latin America. Of course, I'm talking about flan. Just saying the word gets my mouth watering.